going, everybody? It's your boy Soulfly Trades here, back with another banger. And in this video, we will be going over the possible plays we will be looking for on SPY, Apple, and QQQ. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into this here. So I have SPY up here on my weekly time frame. As we can see, we have a big increase in, I wouldn't say big, but we have an over average increase in volume for this last week. I apologize for this dog here. He needs to shut up. But other than that, let's go to our daily time frame. Hold on, let's look at that wick again. That wick isn't bigger than the candlestick, so buyers are still mainly present here in that candlestick in my analysis. As far as this daily is concerned, we have a huge spike of volume in this doji candlestick for the daily. Friday was a little tougher to trade. As you can see, this daily candlestick shows it. But this is telling me buyers are mostly here. Simply because we're dojiing, yes, it's red, but that doesn't necessarily mean this volume bar is just straight sellers. Because if it was, then with this amount of volume, it should have, if anything, engulfed this candlestick or at least reached these lows, or at least 466, without any type of rejection, if it was truly just sellers. So it's really buyers right there, which means we're still bullish on our daily and weekly time frames. So I'll still be looking for call options. Let's go to our 4 hour that we have here. We had some crazy price action during FOMC. Made a video on how I traded that. Long story short, let's go to this hourly. I like the hourly better. Long story short, come next week, all these levels are as of recent of last week, so they're very recent. I'm updating my levels every week, basically. But these levels still seem valid. They're still holding, still playing out. So, they're still valid right now. But basically what I'll look for, I'll be cautious around this 469, maybe to go long on SPY. It's yellow simply because I don't know to go cautious here. To be cautious, my ideal entry is this 468 area. Maybe a dip below these previous trading days lows for a sort of liquidity grab and explosion to the upside, hopefully. Depending on the trade and how things are looking, first price target will be 469. But if we have some crazy volume, I'll be trying to aiming for that 470 ultimately. So that'll be crazy risk to reward. It's really about a 1 to 4. I mean, 1 to 2.5, something like that. Yeah. But, as always, we want to focus on execution instead of profits. So, I'll be trading the same size, being pretty consistent. Last week was a green week for me, so I'm going to bring that into this next coming week. But yeah, I'll be looking for calls around this area, this demand zone. I'd love for us to break below this 468 and, hopefully bounce right off of this area with increasing volumes, telling me buyers are here, and I'll get in there. But yeah, stop will be right under that level, about 15 to 30 cents, depending on the price action. We'll see. 15 to $30, on my contract, because I'll be going in the money. Or maybe I'll go one outside of the money. If I go more outside the money, I can make my stop loss a little bit smaller. Simply because if contracts are worth less, sometimes if, say for instance, I'll try to put a 30 cent stop loss on my contracts, it'll just stop me out automatically if the contract's at like 42 or something like that. It's pretty weird sometimes. So that's why sometimes if contracts are super cheap, then I won't really put my stop, but I'll have the mental stop. Basically, if it gets below the area where my stop would be, then I'm out, and you have to follow that. So that's the only thing about options. Sometimes it's weird. Sometimes you can get stopped out of a good trade for trying to put a stop loss because of spread. But it's not always like that, but it happens occasionally. But that's mainly what I'll be looking for on SPY. I won't really be looking for too many rejections because we're not bearish on our daily time frame or weekly, so I don't want to go against that trend. Let's look at QQQ. Okay, a little bit. Yeah, some nice volume on this candlestick. Not too much rejection, which telling me buyers are still here, especially since they exploded above this level. Buyers really want this. So we're still bullish on our weekly time frame. That's established. I do like this rejection in that previous daily candlestick, but I'm just not a big fan of this sort of, we're holding this level right here. So that's telling me we need, depending on Monday, if we don't break that on Monday or Tuesday, we probably need some kind of catalyst to break. Because with that big move on Wednesday, I want to be cautious that the market isn't taking a pause for like it did kind of Thursday and Friday. I want to make sure it's not taking another 2-day break. You know what I mean? So I'll be very cautious, but I'll be looking for call options. Let's see. Let's move down to these smaller time frames. We're looking for call options on QQQ. Ideally, my best entry, is 403. This 403 area, my demand's on. But if we don't retrace, but if we retrace slightly, but hold this 404.71, I'll be looking to get in call options there. My price target will be that 406 area, 406.39. But say for instance, we're trailing right under it, and I see sellers come in, I will take profits a couple cents below. But that's basically what I'll be looking for in QQQ. Depending on where we're at, or maybe a break above this 406 area with a retest on my 5-minute time frame. Shoot, if I can get a prime here, I'll hold. Depending on price action, though, I'd really have to see this price action in volume. I'd hold to 408, but my first price target will be like this a 407.50 basically. Even though my next level is 408, you know what? I'll just hold it to 408. I only have one contract, and I'm practicing my risk to reward and maximizing my risk to reward. So that's what I'll do. 406.39 in that area will be my entry. If we break above and retest on increase, if we retest on decreasing volume and bounce off on increasing volume, I'm in there. Stop loss below those lows, 15 to 30 cents. And yeah, I would be holding. Not even risking that much. Like I said, risking anywhere between $15 to $30. It all depends on the contracts that I'm in, but that's usually, how big I'm risking. But say, for instance, I'm in a trade on QQQ and SPY, then I'll wait. If we're both at a key area, for entries, I'll make sure I'm only risking around $15 on both. So that means if I lose those one contract on QQQ and one contract on SPY, I only lose $30 altogether. But I'm risking $30 altogether to make 80 plus, 100 plus, if we move correctly. But yeah, that's mainly what I'll be looking for on QQQ. Like I said, I won't be looking for too many rejections since we're still bullish on our bigger time frames like our daily and weekly. So let's move to Apple. Got some rejections at these highs here. We broke the all-time highs right now. I think we did. Yeah, we broke the all-time highs on Apple. Having some rejections up here, but that's kind of as expected simply because, expected takes people profits and big banks and institutions and things of that nature at the highs. So expected a pullback. And let's see where I could possibly enter though. Wow, that was a big spike. I don't like how it's a green candlestick and we have a bigger rejection to the top than we do to the bottom, which means Apple could see some kind of pullback here. Um, maybe to even this 196.49, you know, and buyers could come in. I don't know, or we could pull back down to this 192. We'll have to see. I'll be very cautious on trading Apple simply because it's giving me a little bit mixed signals right now. Even though we're still bullish, we are still bullish on our bigger time frames. I just want you to know that we're still bullish. But I sense we could kind of retrace a little bit before we make more moves to the upside on Apple, I should say. But let's go to our 4 hour, see anything. Yeah, look at this rejection of this candlestick here. The next real level I don't have is until this area right here, basically. It's 195-ish. I can mark that in here. Sure, I'm gonna just bring my key demands on over 195.03. Yeah, or maybe we could pull back to this like 195.03 area. You know, I can see that as a possibility. Um, Depending on price action with Apple, I could possibly look at some rejections, but I don't like how we just, we broke below um in that 195 area and retrace back up. I'm interested to see on how price reacts at this 20-day EMA right here. 21-day EMA, I think. Yeah. Yeah, this is my 21-day. But I'll be very cautious on Apple. I'll pay more attention to QQQ and SPY, but I'll still keep my eye out for Apple. I only really feel safe taking calls. I don't know. This price action is just congested right now with Apple. This is a valid area because we held, we was rejecting the area of resistance turn support. So I could look to take call options on this area. Other than that, I appreciate everybody for tuning in, and I will see you guys on the next one. Peace.